Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and yes, I know it's been a long time since I did a Rage Time video, and as I keep saying, Rage Time videos aren't really what this channel is about. It's certainly not what I want this channel to be about. But you have to remember the point of those Rage Time videos was always about making our community better, making the music community better, making us as musicians and content creators better, making the community better. So today, I want to call out something that I think is pretty fucking shitty. A double standard, if you like. And that double standard is aimed at the boys over in Periphery. Now, I don't want to aim it at any one particular member of the band. It would be easy to look at Periphery and think of them as being Misha's band, therefore attacking Misha with this. But for all we know, it was a suit involved with Periphery that decided to do this. But before we get on to what Periphery have done, let me tell you a little story. So I value intellectual property rights. Of course I do. I'm a content creator. I make my living off my intellectual property. For those of you awesome people that have purchased my books, that's intellectual property that I own, and I put the time into writing that, and of course I own the copyright on that, so people can't reproduce my books. That way I can still continue to sell them without them being proliferated. Now, of course, piracy is still a thing, but that doesn't make the piracy legal. So a little thing that happened to me earlier in the month, I supported a content creator on Patreon. And they released a line of shirts featuring fan art of IP that they did not own. And I took issue with this because the person in question was somebody that I always valued as a bastion of integrity. And of course, integrity is extremely important to me. Now, the content creator in question, naming no names, took issue with me calling him out on what he was doing. And in the end, after I publicly kind of went after him for this, he ended up blocking me on Twitter and deleting me from his Patreon. Now, in the grand scheme of things, so what? I don't care. If you want to go out there and be a shithead whilst also instilling these values of how important your intellectual property is and how nobody should be able to steal your logos, your brands, the things you own, but then try and sell things that you don't own, it just makes you an asshole. But it didn't really matter to me because it wasn't related to the music scene. Then I go on my Facebook today and what do I see? Periphery. A band that I actually enjoy. If you look back on my recent videos, I did a video just recently doing a listening party listening to Juggernaut, Alpha and Omega, which I think are a fantastic set of albums. I saw this post on Facebook because I follow the band. Legitimately, I like the band. So I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed and I see this. Now, forgive me for being a little bit confused here. I wasn't aware that Periphery had some sort of brand deal in place with PlayStation. Because, of course, when you look at this shirt, it features the PlayStation logo, a Sony trademark. What on earth are you thinking, guys? You can't release something like this that has I was going to say IP, but in this case, it's literally a registered trademark that you don't own. And you know what I think is the worst thing about this? The fact that they're releasing it for a short period of time. You know, get your pre-orders in now because they know that this isn't going to last. They know that this will probably result in a cease and desist, but who really cares if you can get the orders in time before that cease and desist happens, right? I think it's unbelievably shitty to try and release something like this. Now, I did see some people in the comment section pointing out that they've been doing more and more of this over the years, taking kind of established brands and putting the Periphery twist on things. But I want to point out to all of the people that did that, when you look at shirts like their Grand Theft Auto shirt, for example, this isn't using any trademarks. This is clearly a parody based on the concepts of, or the design ethos, if you like, of Grand Theft Auto 5. It doesn't actually contain any of the trademarks that are registered to Rockstar. So I don't really think that there's anything wrong with this shirt. Whereas this PlayStation shirt absolutely uses a trademark that Periphery don't own. And I cannot see in good conscience how anybody could look at this and say that this is anything other than a shitty thing to do. It's no different than me releasing a t-shirt with the Periphery logo on and my name underneath it. In fact, what do you think, guys? Shall I put this t-shirt up on Teespring? You watch how quickly Misha and the guys over in Periphery will take issue of me releasing and selling a product to my audience that contains their trademarks. They wouldn't be okay with it. And of course, this whole, the kind of piracy thing and the bootlegging thing, the unofficial shirt thing, this is massive on Facebook. You see it all the time when you're scrolling through your Facebook feed. You will see band shirts that you know aren't official. You know they're illegitimate. You know they are small companies that have just started up. They run a Facebook marketing campaign. They sell a bunch of merchandise they have no legal right to sell. And bands hate this stuff, because of course they hate this stuff, because it eats into their market. It is using their IP to make money. It is using something that somebody else has built up over a period of time, which has inherent value, the monetizing that and then running away with the money before anybody can do anything about it. And I just don't see how this is any different. This is exactly the same thing. And once again, we need to be better than this as a community. And of all of the people, sure, I've given Misha and the guys in Periphery a hard time from time to time on the Guitar Souls podcast, but at the same time, I constantly say that if you want to look at how to be successful in the modern music business, you have to look at how Misha has run things, because Misha is tip-top when it comes to making sure he's running his business affairs correctly. So I cannot fathom how such a poor decision has been made here, and this is as bad as it gets. And the sad part is, I get it, right? The word fan stems from the word fanatic. When you read the comment section to this video, there's going to be a shit ton of people taking issue with me having the nerve to call out Periphery for this. Just think about that. What are you doing here? Why would you take issue with me pointing this out? I'm right. You should be calling them out as well. You should be saying, guys, this isn't the way to do it, because it's a slippery slope. It's not about me attacking Periphery, and it's not about me defending Sony, who obviously are a massive company. It's about me protecting the idea of trademarks and intellectual property rights, a thing that all of these people in question rely on in order to make a fucking living. You know, the idea of a Guitar Souls Periphery shirt is, obviously I'm being facetious, I have no intention of releasing that. But same idea, you know. I think Periphery's Alpha and Omega are excellent albums. I tell you what, I'm just going to re-release them, but I'm going to put a different logo on the front. You can't do that. This is the same basic concept. Misha, please, do fucking better, mate. Because you are a bastion of inspiration. Let's go with that. You're a bastion of inspiration for up-and-coming people in the music industry. And this is not, absolutely fucking not, the message that you want to be putting out to people. And you do not want to have your fans defending you for something that really, in the back of your mind, when you really think about it, you know you're absolutely fucking in the wrong here, mate. Get this shirt down. It's not right. It's simply not right. Anyway, as always, I just want to say a huge thank you to my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. I know I keep saying that I won't be doing Rage Time videos anymore. This is really about education, this channel. But from time to time, I feel that I need to say something. And I can't wait for a Guitar Souls episode. So thank you very much for all your kindness and support, guys. Because it means your kindness and support means that I can take the time off of the things that I have to do, the transcription work that I've got going on, in order to make content like this. So I hope you guys have enjoyed some of this. And if you have any questions, comments or concerns, let me know in that comment section below, or check me out on Patreon, link in the description. Alternatively, you can also check out one of my books, links to Amazon. What do you think about what Misha and the guys in Periphery have done here? Let me know in that comment section. I'm happy to fight it out with you, but let me be super fucking clear on this one. I will argue with you if you tell me I'm wrong, because I'm absolutely fucking not wrong. The only real issue here is whether or not you care. And I totally get it. You can argue in the comment section with me all day long, telling me how you don't think that intellectual property rights should be a thing. You can argue with me all day about saying you don't care that Periphery are doing this because they're taking trademarks of companies that are much bigger than them, so who in the grand scheme is it really hurting? You can make those arguments till the cows come home. And we can sit and we can talk about how the world could be in some utopian future that you envisage. But we're not talking about how you think the world should work. We are talking about how the world actually does work. And in this particular instance, this is way fucking out of line. Unless, of course, a license has been paid for that. I don't really see that being the case, though. There'd probably be some sort of cross-promotion between Periphery and Sony. So, yeah. Anyway, have a great day, and until next time, bye, fuckers.